The drinking was a big part of our relationship together.
Like separate, but then when we came together, it was also a part of our relationship together. Because I was drinking before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
You were young, of course you were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just out of college, first big boy job, making some okay money, and was spending it on IPAs and red wine and beer fests. And it was back then when all that stuff was going on. It was like every day there was like a new beer fest or another excuse to go get drunk. Like, I'm so happy that millennials and Gen Z have figured out that it's like just so unhealthy, and that part of the culture is like slowing down. Because it was, in my mind, it was always just an excuse to go get drunk. Like it took me a little while to realize that. I was like, oh, just because there's food trucks or this or that, it's like literally just people wanting to go get drunk. But I mean, you were working 2 jobs. You were working at the company, and then you were working your pizza job. And I would, like, when you were working the pizza job, I would go down and I would just like hang out in a booth and grab a beer and color. Just like to kill the time, because I just wanted to be around you. And then there were nights like we would just do shots of Fireball. We would go skiing or hiking. We would bring beers with us.
Or whiskey. Or, like every activity that we did, we would always plan to be drinking. It didn't matter if it was like 10 in the morning either.
Well, our start time was usually 11. Like if we were going on a road trip or, I mean, I would be drinking roadies. I mean, we were having fun.
We were.
But then there was a lot of times it just was not fun.
It was not fun.
No, it was very unhealthy. It was very detrimental to the relationship. It was, it was taking so much away from me.
Yeah.
And so much away from you and so much away from our relationship.
Most teams are AI curious, but they're not AI capable. They're dabbling, but they're not serious about investing time and energy into building AI into the business. That's where Sixth Summit can help. They run 2-day AI hackathons with you and your team, where you walk away with actual AI implementation into your business. I did this myself, and I walked away with a whole team of AI agents that are able to run a lot of my back-end systems to help produce the content that you're watching and listening to right now. So if you're interested in actually implementing AI into your business, right alongside experts that can help you produce results, go to sixthsummit.io/hackathon and enter the code FYOG to join the waitlist.
Before I got sober, I never really thought I was going to stop drinking, because drinking felt like a friend. Drinking felt like something that was a part of me. But then I remember looking in the mirror and like looking at like a gray ghost. And I remembered that my vocabulary was like not as good. I was not as smart as I used to be. And then my health was failing, right? I was getting the vertigo episodes. I was like having panic attacks. I remember being in basically like the executive meeting room with the CEO. I was sitting next to the CEO, and I started getting like a panic attack for no reason in the vertigo episode. And I was like looking around the room at what like potted plant I was going to throw up in. And I had enough sense to like leave, and I had to go just like sit in the bathroom because it was just silent and quiet and cold. And that kept happening. And I'm like, this is not normal. And you know what? I was like 30 years old at the time, which is young. I shouldn't be having all this going on. And I took an Uber ride home that day. It was like the worst, 5-minute Uber. I could like barely even open my eyes. The vertigo was so bad. And I knew that something had to change. At first I was like, oh, maybe it's the coffee. I'm drinking too much caffeine or whatever.
The salt.
It's the salt that I'm eating. Yeah. The salt and the coffee are causing this.
It couldn't be the 8 beers that
I have every other night.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't really like who I was becoming. I didn't like where my life was going. And then it was the Denver incident that was like the last straw, where I went around Denver for a work trip, and I did what I did on any work trip is I tried all the food. I drank every beer I could in the city because I'm cultured, right? That was something else I realized with drinking. I realized that most people are drinking way too much and using high-end pricing and high-end products to justify it as a hobby. So like the wine drinkers and the whiskey drinkers and the IPA drinkers, the craft beer drinkers that are drinking every night, but justifying the price of the bottle or price of the wine or price of the beer to like justifying it as a hobby and it's okay because it costs a lot of money. I saw that in our friend group. I saw that elsewhere.
Yeah, it's like you can't be an alcoholic if you're not drinking the $8 bottle of whiskey, but if you're having the $80 bottle of whiskey,
Then
couldn't be an alcoholic.
Yeah, it can't be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Can't be drinking too much.
Yeah.
So there was all these like seeds that started, my mind, like my mind started planting all these seeds that I had to choose to ignore and choose to pay attention to at some point. And then you were really pushing on me. I mean, gently and lovingly. But then the Denver incident where I woke up and my kidneys hurt, my body hurt. I think I was still drunk when I woke up, shoveled a bunch of food into my mouth. And then I was there at a conference because I was not performing at work the way I thought I was. And I didn't even realize that at the time. I thought I was, I'm going to go get training. No, it was because I was not doing well. And luckily they were like, I'm going to send you away to manager camp. And then I had to walk out of the training and just sit in a friggin' bathtub for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it. On the flight home, I ordered sparkling water. And they didn't even really have sparkling water on planes back then. This is 9 years ago. So the fact that they had a Dasani lime flavored sparkling water was kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
And I took a picture of it. And I still have that picture because I literally knew in that moment that I was going to stop drinking.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment that I knew for sure I was going to stop drinking because I had tried a few times before. But it was almost like if they didn't have that sparkling water on that flight, I might still be drinking.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid.
Excuse to just be like, well.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But that Dasani lime sparkling water on the Alaska Airlines flight from Denver to Seattle, March 23rd of whatever 9 years ago is, was the final nail in the coffin of me drinking, which is pretty incredible. So really grateful for that. Because when I was flying, it was like a treat to have a bottle of wine or like I would order like the half bottles and have it on like a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
I got upgraded to first class one time, or I used to buy the upgrades to first class. I still do, but I buy the upgrades to first class. And on a flight from Seattle to San Francisco, which is like 2 hours, I had 6 beers. The flight attendant, we were like, they announced the final descent and they like ding and they're like, oh, we're descending. The first class flight attendant looked at me, grabbed one more beer and like held it out and rolled his eyes. And I was like, yep, I will. And that was like my 6th beer. In a 2-hour flight.
Can you imagine drinking that much liquid in a 2-hour flight? It's so it's just stupid. And then
it's so unhealthy.
And then you think about it being alcohol and like poison.
And you know what I do on flights now? And we're so good about this. I drink so much water. I bring protein powder and have a protein shake. We bring meal prepped food onto the flight.
I eat cans of tuna.
Yeah, you eat cans of tuna and eggs on flights. And I'm so happy. I feel so much better coming off of flights.
Yeah.
Like a regular flight drinking, or even a long haul, doing an international and getting all the free booze on there, I would feel terrible the next day. It's not jet lag. I'm dehydrated and hungover from everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the drinking was a big part of the relationship. There was a couple things that led up to this. I had tried a few different times to quit.
I don't think that I knew that.
What's that?
You tried to quit?
Well, in my mind I tried.
Yeah.
But it was like I got too drunk over the weekend. Monday morning, I felt like, okay, I'm not going to drink. I'm done. And you feel like crap for a few days. And then by Thursday, you feel better. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe I can do this. And then boom, right back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't say that I really tried.
Yeah.
In my mind, I tried.
Okay, got it.
But it was really, I just felt like crap from drinking too much. Took a 3-day break and then went right back at it.
Yeah.
Right, which is, I think, pretty common for most people.
Mm-hmm.
And in those attempts, or I would be like, oh, I'm not going to drink on the weekdays. Is Thursday a weekday? Or I'm only going to have 1 or 2 or blah, 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 whatever. Like I try to moderate or mediate my drinking.
Yeah.
That did not work, right? Just, it's like, what's the point? And I'm just like in my head the whole time of like thinking. And then the other thing that happened is we did the Whole30 diet, right, like kind of right before I quit, or like within 6 months of quitting.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that the Whole30 diet taught me is, because it basically eliminates sugar. It's one of the sugar elimination. One, that I think most people do those types of diets because they're actually drinking too much and they want to use it as a way to get sober. Like after doing that, I was like, oh, I think this is a way for people to try to get sober. It's not just about the food. And then the other thing is that I learned that our bodies are like systems, and there's like habits and triggers that we have. So like I was having sugar cravings, and I noticed you having sugar cravings, and I've seen other people in our life have sugar cravings, where like if you've ever watched a family after like a family dinner, they have like, let's say they have steak and potatoes for dinner, like clockwork, about 20 minutes, maybe 15 to 20 minutes after dinner, everybody's like, who's ready for dessert? It's like something in the brain and the body is wired to want that sugar. And so I learned that from the Whole30 diet, and that helped quit drinking because I felt like it was the same. It was a habit. And that it was like, okay, this is a habit. I can break a habit. And it's a sugar craving, right? Because alcohol metabolizes into sugar. It's a sugar craving. If I can just beat the sugar craving, like I've done before, if I can just beat the habit craving, then I can do this. So like reframing it, yes, it's an addiction, but it was like, it's a habit. I can change my habit.
So after you came home and I knew that you didn't drink on the flight, I was like shocked. I was shocked because we always drink on flights. And when you said that you didn't, I was just like, whoa. And then like a couple days went by, and I think I said something about like picking up beer for the weekend or something like that. And you're like, no, I'm not drinking. And I was like, oh, you're like not drinking. And I don't think that I like fully believed it, that you had committed. And there was, I think, a couple of times that I had drank after you had quit. I remember one of them was we went up skiing with some friends, and we had our camper van, and they were drinking, and I was like, I will have a beer in the van. And I had a beer. You were the only one not drinking. And I had such a sense of guilt because I was like, here I am asking you to get sober, concerned about you and your health and your life. And I could see us just traveling down this terrible path of drinking in excess so often. And I think I had 2 beers that day, and I was just like, this is so stupid. This is like everything that I've asked for, and here I am, not willing to change. It's really messed up. And that was the last time that I drank. Like I made a decision on that day that I wasn't going to do that anymore, because I was like, this is literally what I've been asking for. And if we're doing it together, it'll be really pretty easy.
Yeah, and honestly, it was easier than I expected. It was easier once I made the decision. And I remember, yeah, it was probably like 2 weeks after I stopped when you decided to quit too. This was one of the first times that I think I chose myself. And that's what it takes to get sober, is like you have to do it for yourself. So I was like, okay with the fact that you might be drinking. Like, I wasn't sure. I was like, if she continues to drink the way that we've been drinking, like, I don't know how we're gonna be able to stay together.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because I mean, we were both just going for it.
Yeah.
And so like if I'm here trying to live a sober life and she's still drinking, it's going to be hard to see how we're going to stay together, like just practically speaking.
Yeah.
And then I think it took you about 2 weeks, and I didn't force it. I didn't say anything because it was all about me and making sure that I was staying sober.
Yeah.
And I was doing everything that I could to stay sober. I do remember you like getting upset one night. It was like you got really upset. And I've learned over time with you that when there's a big change coming or a big shift, your body goes into fight mode. And so I remember you getting really upset with me, and I was just kind of like, oh, I think she's going to do it.
Wait, I don't know if I remember this.
I've brought this up a few times and you don't remember it.
Yeah. Wait, so was I drinking?
No. You might have been drinking that night. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember you just like getting really, like your body went into fight mode.
Really?
Yeah, it was like you knew a big change was coming. You knew, this is how I interpret it now.
Yeah.
And I interpret it in the moment is you knew that you were going to have to get sober. It was like inevitable. You knew it's what you wanted, but your body was just like, and your mind were like fighting against it. And it used me as the target.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
God, I do not remember that.
There's a lot of things I don't remember either. And the crazy thing about getting sober is that's when our relationship in our life really started. That's when we started building everything that we'd ever built.
Mm-hmm.
Like we gained the confidence to quit our jobs.
Yep.
We quit our jobs, lived in the van, survived that, sober.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been sober for 9 years, and everything that we've built has been on the back of getting sober and staying sober. Built the $1 million consulting company, built our $14 million real estate portfolio, building this AI company, went through all my coaching programs.
Even just like the relationship and the family that we have.
Yeah. I mean, having the boys would not have been possible ever. I wasn't even ready to bring them and their mom in like 6 months before it happened.
Yeah. I don't know if I was ready the day before it happened. Everything was perfect timing.
It was the craziest timing because it was like, it really was like, because I had been going through the leadership program, so were you, and it was like, we got the new house, and then I wouldn't have been able to be like the dad that I am. Like almost like you said, like a day. I wouldn't have been able to be the dad that I am like a day before it happened. Like, and I don't know how to describe it, but it all started with getting sober.
Yeah.
My therapist said something to me like 6 months ago. I was having a really hard day, and she normally doesn't do this, where she just poured into me. She just literally poured into me for an hour, and she said something. She said, Kassidy, you've allowed yourself to be completely torn apart and rebuilt again. And it's true. And that's what it's taken. And it literally all started with the decision to get sober.
Mm-hmm.
And I think getting sober is a superpower because most people live in mediocrity. Most people live in comfort. They create their bubble, whatever level that is. Not many people ever actually choose themselves and their dreams. Getting sober is the ultimate form of self-love and self-choice that you can make, because it's something that only you can do, and only when you're ready to make that decision. And it's one of the hardest and most rewarding things that you can do. Mm-hmm. And so if you get sober, especially off of like hard stuff, but I mean, alcohol is pretty tough for most people. But if you get sober, you can do anything. You can do anything. If you stay sober, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to lose relationships, you're going to lose businesses, you're going to lose a lot by choosing to get sober. Your whole life is going to change. And then you get to rebuild it. And then you get to create the life that you want. You get to feel your emotions. You get to love people again. You get to heal your traumas. You get to face life in a way that you were never able to, because you're choosing a hard path that almost nobody ever chooses. And if you stay sober, every day you're on the other side of it. literally every day you're on the other side of it if you choose getting sober.
And that was kind of the beginning of us also being like, having confidence in ourselves and doing something weird or different. Because like, we were the only sober ones out of our friends. We decided to quit our jobs. We decided to like go all in on that and live in the van for 6 months. Then we came back and like hit the ground running with like consulting business, investing in real estate. And it was the beginning and it was the catalyst of us having this confidence in order to build something so major.
Thank you to our sponsor, Logify. Yes, we have a sponsor. If you're an Airbnb host, you need to understand what you're building and where your dependencies are. Are you just trying to get bookings off of a platform, or are you trying to create actual revenue and consistency in your business? Are you building something that is borrowed, or are you building something that you own? Logify helps you move in the direction of true ownership. It centralizes everything for you, your calendar, your guest messaging, your booking, so everything's not scattered all over the place. Even if you have one listing, things can get unmanageable. But more importantly, Logify allows you to create a direct booking website where guests book directly with you, so you save on all the fees from Airbnb and VRBO. You can create an actual brand identity and you're less reliant on the platforms for making money. If you already have a system in place, you can still book time with Logify to get a demo and see how their system works. If you don't have a direct booking website, I recommend booking a demo with Logify to see where it works for you. They also offer free onboarding, and this is rare. Most PMSs don't give you any support for onboarding. You just sign up and you got to figure it out on your own. Logify actually supports you for free through the entire process. So if you're a short-term rental host and you're thinking beyond just the next booking, but into true ownership, Logify is worth looking into. And for listeners of the show, you can use the code FYOG60 to get a 60% discount on an annual or semi-annual plan. Link in the description. All right, back to the show.
We kind of talked about it a little bit, but one of the signs that I noticed that indicated to me that I had a problem with drinking was the bargaining with myself of, I'll drink on the weekend, I'll have Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday sober. And then I'm like, well, Thursday is Friday Eve, so that kind of counts as...
Oh my God, Friday Eve.
Friday Eve, that counts as a weekend.
Friday Eve.
And then if I'm drinking on the weekend, I'm saying, oh, well, I'm only going to have like 6 drinks all day or something. And then it ends up being like starting drinking champagne in the morning. And then I'm like, well, that kind of goes out the window. Well, and it was just this constant bartering with myself of mental math and mental gymnastics to prove to myself that I didn't have a problem. It was never easy. It was never.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work drinking.
It took a lot of...
It takes so much time and effort and energy to drink.
Yeah, that was a big indicator for me.
Other signs that we had that we were drinking too much or that we had a problem were making sure that every glass of wine was poured exactly equal. Mm-hmm. That was also just another part of our relationship that was not healthy.
That
was a very scarcity mindset.
Equal everything all the time.
Yeah, scarcity mindset.
My own personal traumas.
Yeah, I'll put that one on you.
Yeah,
that was not me.
That's me.
It's like, let's just go buy more.
Yeah, it just migrated out to you by osmosis.
Other signs of people that drink too much, I can see it on people now. There's an energy and a cloud of like lack of self-confidence, people pleasing, inflammation, lazy. It's like a laziness almost of people that drink a lot and that have a drinking problem.
Because it's a depressant.
It is a depressant, and it bloats you. It's an energy. Like I could, if you lined up 50 people in front of me, I could point out everybody that is an alcoholic or is an overdrinker. Like I think without fail. Mm-hmm. Or maybe if I talked to them for 30 seconds, I'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Alcohol brings out your true self. Alcohol amplifies how you feel about yourself inside. People that say it releases my inhibitions or I'm less socially awkward, like that's your true self wanting to come out. And so that means that the alcohol is, or who you are during the day there's something that's getting covered up. There's some trauma, there's some unhealed wounds that are covering up your true self, and alcohol is allowing you to feel your true self. If you're angry when you're drunk, if you're funny or overtly outgoing, like those are characteristics of your true self. Now, the anger is maybe a byproduct of just how they feel about themselves, which is true of all of the emotions that come out when you're drunk. But the tricky thing with alcohol is it covers up and makes, it's like it covers up your true self, but then it allows your true self to come out when you're drinking. So it's like it causes a lot of the problems and suppresses your emotions and puts things in a box and makes you feel like crap. But then when you're drinking, it's like, oh, I'm my true self again. But then for me, what I experienced was that stopped being true.
Mm-hmm.
Like over time, it was like, this isn't really fun anymore. It's like, I'm not having fun. I'm not in the energy. Like, what am I even drinking for anymore? And so then you just drink more or different or whatever. But also the people that say that they drink to help them fall asleep, yeah, right. Number one, you just keep drinking, and then what? You're not falling asleep, you're passing out.
Yeah.
Then number two, like without fail, I would wake up at like 2 a.m. My heart was racing. I had terrible sleep, waking up hungover, even if it's just like a little bit, because the sugar is like metabolizing, and then it wakes you up.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
Well, now there's wearables, and so people know how badly their sleep is actually affected when they drink. I think for a long time we were able to just be like in denial and thinking that it does help us sleep, when really it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm completely sober now off of everything. Yeah. Like I was taking weed gummies for a while, or like hitting the vape. Man, I stopped doing that because I was just basically getting panic attacks, and it was just like,
this is not fun.
What is this? Why am I doing this? I had to just keep asking myself, why am I doing this? What is this for? And then I was like vaping for a bit, and then realizing that my energy and my anxiety was getting worse. My energy was getting low, my anxiety was getting worse. And I was just like, okay, Kassidy, like when are you finally just gonna like stop trying to find something as a coping mechanism? I didn't even really know what a coping mechanism was. I had heard that term, but then my therapist brought it up because I hid the fact that I had vaped, but I brought it up to her, and she thanked me for being open, and then described it as a coping mechanism. And since I was doing my emotional work, I understood. It took that moment to be like, oh, I understand now what it means to be a coping mechanism. And then I was like, I'm just done with anything, you know? So I mean, caffeine is the only thing that I still take, and supplements. But people want me to take peptides and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't really want to put anything in my body, you know? I just don't want to have that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really in tune with my body. I pay a lot of attention to how my body feels. I still do things despite me being tired or, you know, whatever. Like I push through a lot of things. But if I'm actively harming my body and I'm going through, you know, bouts of depression, or like I'm hitting the vape and it's causing me to be depressed, I have to pay attention to that. Like, I have to pay attention to that. I've got big goals. I've got big dreams. I need to be running at like optimal, like I just need to feel good all the time. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel bad. And when I was drinking, yes, I knew I was hungover or like didn't feel good. I didn't realize how bad I felt. I think when you do it so much, it normalizes. Like, you're not able to actually feel how bad you feel, right? Oh, you might be like, oh my God, I'm never going to drink again. But it's more like, I don't think when you're drinking so much and you're drinking every day, or you're using drugs or whatever you're doing every day, I don't think you really know like how bad you feel. And then now that I'm completely sober, I'm in the best shape of my life, I'm doing all this stuff. Like when I don't feel good, I'm like, man, I don't feel good. And I really notice it. And so I just pay a lot of attention to my body. Yes, it's about my health. And that's why I'm going and getting things measured and taken care of. But it's really like, I want to be alive and healthy and mobile for as long as I can. I want to be able to throw the boys in the air until I'm fucking 100 years old.
Until they're 16.
Yeah, they're 35. I'm 90 years old, just tossing them in the air. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that was, we talked about that with you, where you were struggling to like lift your luggage overhead.
I was really weak. I was
worried about you.
I didn't realize how bad it had gotten because it was like just a slow decline. But I thought it was normal. I was like, women can't lift their luggage above their head. Or maybe I just overpacked. No. Denial.
You were getting hurt so much.
I know. And then it made me more afraid to like work out or go to the gym or do physical activities because I was thinking I'm just going to hurt myself. I didn't realize that the answer was lifting weights.
Yeah, you were getting really frail.
I was.
Yeah. The way I got sober was, it was on my own, but I used a community on Reddit called Stop Drinking. And it's sort of like AA, but it's just a community on Reddit, and it's not religious. And I realized that there was a lot of people that had the same story as me. And a lot of people might have different rock bottoms, but it was like, oh, I felt like I wasn't alone anymore in my story and how I felt inside and the thoughts and feelings that I was having about myself and life and drinking. And so I felt like I had a community, and I was actually reading that quite a bit. I was going into the subreddit quite a bit leading up to when I decided to finally quit. And that was really supportive of me making the decision, and then also being a support while I was traveling and still staying sober. For anyone that really thinks that they might have a problem or they want to quit, like, get into a community. And I do recommend AA. I go occasionally now, and they're like shocked that I did it on my own without the 12 steps.
I went for the first time the other day, 9 years in. I'm like, maybe I should go to a meeting.
Yeah. And they were like blown away that we like did it on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we had each other too.
Yes.
So people don't think you can moderate, quit, go get a support system, go to AA or another group or community. And like the phrase and the message that kept me going quite a bit came from that Reddit community. And it's, I will not drink with you today. And basically it's just saying, I'm not going to drink today. Right?
One day at a time.
One day at a time. And like, so if I can get through today, then I just got to worry about tomorrow, which is then going to be today. So like, I'm not going to drink with you today. I'm not going to drink today. I'm not going to drink today. Like if you can do that, then you can stay sober forever. Yeah. If you just don't drink today, every day. And that's the thing, is like trying to look out. Like I've got 9 years, and people out there listening might be on day one or thinking about day one. That's where we all start. Like literally, if you want to get a decade of sobriety under your belt, you have to start with day one. And actually, there's a podcast that I really recommend. It's one of my favorite podcasts. It's Armchair Expert, but there's an episode called Day 7, and it's with Dax and Monica, and they talk about his relapse on Vicodin, I think it was. And it's just a really good reminder of what sobriety means, even if you relapse, and recommitting to being sober and like how easily it can happen. And that's also why I started wanting to go to AA, is feeling like I was really strong in my sobriety, and I had just heard that could be a place where it gets tricky, like something could happen and all of a sudden I don't have a community or support, and the last thing I ever want to do is drink again. Like that's the last thing I ever want to do is drink again. Tactics for actually staying sober when you have a craving: sparkling water, whatever one, and ice cream. Because it is a sugar craving. Like your body is needing the sugar and the calories. So I would say lean more into having a snack, having a treat if that's going to keep you sober, even if you gain some weight, like do that. Like get sober, get past the hard part, get past the cravings, get to a place then where you're like, okay, now I can go get fit, but like use sugar, use cookies, cake, ice cream, sparkling water, if it keeps you sober. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like gaining a few pounds in a few months is worth you like not being an alcoholic and staying sober.
I drink a lot of sparkling beverages as well. Or mine was kombucha because I could put it in a fancy little champagne glass, a vintage champagne glass, and it was bubbly and it was pink and it looked really cute and it made me feel fancy. And it was like a perfect little replacement when I couldn't have champagne, when I couldn't have beer.
That's such a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone getting sober should really go start a business because most business owners are former alcoholic, ADD, like obsessed with like results and becoming the best. Like that's like common traits for people that are alcoholics. So I'm being a little bit facetious, but if you look at what we did, we did the consulting while we were building the real estate portfolio. We lived in the van, started a community, like basically just build, find what I'm capable of. And then did the body transformation, the fitness transformation. And if you're drinking right now, you're an alcoholic or you're an addict of some kind, and you trade that for going to the gym and getting fit, great. Just keep going. Don't burn out and don't stop and don't like think that you're healed and cured, but like keep going. And it's okay to have that trade-off, right? I think the great thing about people that are sober, when we get together or when we see each other or talk, like there's just a different level of understanding of like who you are as a person and what it took to get there. So like if I'm at the gym and I meet someone and they're jacked and they're a decade sober, like I know what it took for them to be there. Like that says something about where they were, to then spend 10 years building their body and staying sober for them and their family. Like that's some real stuff. How do you feel about like how our relationships with our friends have evolved since getting sober?
In some ways, I feel like we were the lighthouses in some ways. We were the first ones to get sober out of our friends. And then out of nothing other than just like proximity and us not drinking, our friends kind of stopped drinking as much. It wasn't like they were like, oh, we can't drink around them. They just it kind of stopped being as big of a deal. And then there's some friends that we just don't really hang out with anymore because much like our relationship was very focused on what activities can we do while we're drinking. And also drinking is an activity. A lot of our friendship relationships were that way as well. Yeah. And so we naturally just stopped spending so much time with them.
The way that I look at it is like still have a ton of love for everybody. And at the same time that we got sober, like we started deciding to go make a bunch of different decisions about what we wanted. And that just changed where we were. Like we were all over the world, all over the country, building things. And that just changed the nature of like being able to stay as connected. And then COVID happened. Oh yeah, and I'm so grateful we stayed sober through COVID because people either got sober or they became alcoholics like full blown during COVID. But yeah, I also feel like getting sober and becoming entrepreneurs, we have attracted in so many other people that are sober entrepreneurs. And travel, it's like your vibe attracts your tribe. Yeah. Like my purpose is too big to spend time drinking. Yeah. Because of how much it takes away from me.
Yeah, what a waste.
If all we're gonna do is be drinking, or that's the like I don't have time.
I literally don't have time.
I literally don't have time for it. Like I literally don't have time for it. Yeah. Am I gonna go out drinking or like being with people that drink, or am I going to like watch a movie with the boys or go to the lake with the boys or go on a date with you or like go help people make money in their business?
Yeah.
Implement AI into their company. Like, what am I going to do? And like, for what?
Yeah.
The truth about like getting sober and doing the work, and when I say the work, I'm talking about like shadow work, inner child work, like emotional intelligence, like real work where you come out the other side knowing exactly who you are and what your purpose is and what you want out of life. You realize that like, one, people are people and I get to choose everything for myself. I'm the architect of my reality. I get to create everything that I ever want. And that people are just at different levels and phases of that awakening and that realization. It is absolutely not a superiority. It is a love and empathy and how can I help?
Yeah.
Right?
That's how I feel about it as well. Like, I don't have judgment for people that are doing all the things that I used to do, drinking in excess, have made different choices that maybe aren't in alignment with the vision that they say that they want. For me, I have empathy for them. And then I also am like, I hope that they reach out to me or I will reach out to them to offer support. But it's never from a place of like, I want to change you.
I think for me, I had you have to make the decision to go first. Like, I had to make the decision to go first. I had to be the leader. And that can be true of the man or the woman in a relationship or just someone on their own. You have to be willing to deal with whatever quote unquote consequences are going to come from like quitting and like do whatever it takes to stay sober, right? Go first, do it for yourself, commit, and do whatever it takes to stay sober.
Yeah. Tell someone.
Yeah.
Tell someone. Even if it's a friend and you're like, I'm thinking about doing this, just being honest about it will get you further.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole song that's going around right now of like, don't tell your dreams to people around. I'm like, no.
What?
No, the opposite. Like, tell everybody. I know. Like,
tell everybody.
Tell everybody. Yeah, like, tell everybody and hold yourself accountable. And like, if you've got good friends and family, are you drinking? Did you drink? Call me if you're thinking about drinking, right? Like, get a sponsor or somebody and pick up the phone and call people before you take a drink. 100%. All right, everybody. This was a little impromptu episode, but as always, I appreciate you. Love you. This has been For Your Own Good for sure.
For your own good.
Peace.
Well, I do want to acknowledge you for just the transformation that you have done and for the way that you've just really shown up for me and my family and for yourself and the people that depend on you. You've really reinvented yourself in so many different ways. And I'm so proud of you and everything that you've done. And I love you so much. And I hope that you like it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Oh, my God. Yeah, this was definitely like one of the favorites. Oh, yes. Yes.
Please fit.
Boom. There it is.
Yes. Thought it might look good with your watch.
Definitely.
Too.
You know, people renew their vows.
Yeah.
But I think this is better.